Chapter 6. Responsibility. Money, power, respect. This is a very important issue because of the society we live in today. Money is super awesome, sure, and there is enough to go around for everyone who is looking to fill their pockets. Power, on the other hand, if not trained properly, can destroy Rome in a day. Rome symbolizes all men, women, children, families, and organizations, both corporate and self-interests. Not properly understanding power is a truly double-edged sword. To live by the sword means you must be willing to die by the sword, for this is life. Furthermore, what I mean by die by the sword is to believe the same rules as one governor. Hypocrisy should not be allowed or tried, and it should also be avoided at all costs. Also, never place another individual in a situation to make them turn in an unfavorable result, as that could cost a company or family a beneficial member. The respect aspect can breed disillusionment. First rule of respect is one must respect themselves first. Also understand what love, trust, honor, courage, and commitment truly mean. Also, it would help to have a great leadership class along with experience in life. Pertaining to the system, the cycles do stop. We must want to change them. Be articulate and intelligent. Cycles can change. We exist in a cycle where no one wants change. Saying change isn't the same as doing change. To believe this truth above is all out dumb. I'm terribly sorry. Power, money, respect don't exist in the real world. These things are all theoretical. Technically, politics is so dominant amongst all three of these aspects. The game is staying longer than any of us players. The rule of the streets is, best be worth more alive than it is to be dead. Building a proper structure on a table still leaves room to be fucked under the table by one's own kind. Believe none of what you hear and only 50% of what you see. The house is designed to always win. Sorry, play big with your first hand. It's the only solution I can offer to this problem. I can collectively sit and think of all the companies and corporations I've been involved in and contributed to heavy gross. I completely devoted time to understanding and eventually working for Marvel Comics, to being involved in independent companies. Knowledge seems to be more valuable than profits in some of these places. Loyalty can often lead you to no friends, both professionally and personally. Rome could be destroyed by improper leadership or financial or even planning techniques, whether self-inflicted or an act of Mother Nature. But that doesn't change the fact of adapting to the way of doing as the Romans do in Rome. I'd sadly say that 75% of money, power, respect is not seen. The way of a man's word and handshake have dissipated tremendously. No matter the socioeconomic titles of a group of individuals, these titles come into play when these self-interest groups are involved in the larger picture. When bullets fly, politics go out the window. One's level of maturity also has major influence as well. Young and dumb strength can only go so far, as these are bigger bullies and monsters that are waiting to devour you. Even in money, power, respect, that food chain still needs its prey. Ignorance is never an excuse. Democracy is an organization or situation in which everyone is treated equally and has equal rights, which means somebody must leave their ego at the door. Even I must abide by this rule at times. Authoritarianism is a form of government characterized by strong central power and limited political freedoms. Totalitarianism is a political system where the state recognizes no limits to its authority and strives to regulate every aspect of public and private life wherever feasible. Capitalism is a way of organizing an economy so that the things that are used to make and transport products, such as land, oil, factories, ships, etc., are owned by individual people and companies rather than by the government. Socialism is a way of organizing a society in which major industries are owned and controlled by the government rather than by individual people and companies. Communism is a way of organizing society in which the government owns the things that are used to make and transport products, such as land, oil, factories, ship, etc., and there is no privately owned property. And once you find Rome, you gotta live how you can. Earn power, money, respect, then play the game and try not to cheat. Trust me, money, power, respect sounds really cool. But AIDS, time, our lifespan, war, murder is a dangerous plateau to offset the greatness the earth can provide. We can't have the yin without the yang. Before we can earn any of these, we've got to train. Think, Muhammad Ali, Martin Luther King, Jesus Christ. Obama, Cesar Chavez, Gandhi, Mandela. By association, money, power, respect can get really scary at times. Money, power, respect can sometimes be a death sentence, whether professionally, mentally, or emotionally. Stay safe. Sales. The sales aspect comes into play all the time. Sales boils down to making dinner and a lifestyle for yourself. Sales is not to be mistaken for instructions. How it made you happy is not the same as why you should be happy. Of course, you want to make a sale. But as a self-starter, the first rule is, know what your bills are. Be prepared to discuss these openly and transparently. This includes price per purchase and overhead costs. Communication is a great solution to this. You need to practice as well. See things from the consumer's perspective constantly. Value is an awesome bridge to make a sale. It's not always about you. Help me help you. Example, I bought this GS Lexus and you should too. Right way. I bought this GS Lexus because I'm a father of 3 children. The frame is extremely safe and balanced when driving in the rain. The airbags and the tire traction make me feel safer when driving in the snow. The seatbelts and seats are very accommodating to having a baby seat in the car. Blah, 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 blah. You see, don't sell in black and white. Sell, sell, sell in living color. Make your sale a party worth joining.